Did you know that Loki from Norse mythology might be related to Hekate, goddess of witchcraft? You guys really seem to like it when Greek myth connects to Norse mythology, so let's do another. Maybe you've heard of Loki, the shape-shifting trickster, the cause of and solution to all the gods' problems. And no, it doesn't say Hekate is Loki in a book somewhere, but there's a ton of comparative evidence that we can look at. And more importantly, the symbolism and the meaning line up, and I think that's what we have to pay attention to. Man, I'm going through this now in my head, and there's actually a lot of evidence. Let's go. In the story of Persephone's abduction, Demeter is so sad. She's so sad. In sort of a weird throwaway moment that most storytellers do not repeat, Baubo, an aspect of Hekate, shows Demeter her genitals to make her laugh. If you think mythology is highbrow, keep listening. In Norse mythology, when Skadi is upset because the Aesir murdered her dad, fair enough, Loki's the only one who can cheer her up by, wait for it, tying a goat to his genitals. So here we have, in both myth systems, a sad winter goddess who needs to be cheered up, and it's done so by a liminal figure exposing their genitalia. Mythology. Next point. Hekate is very associated with dogs. Loki is very associated with wolves. Both of them were strongly associated with the star Sirius. I can already see it in the comments. Go ahead, say it. Why so serious? It's okay, you're safe. But Sirius was known as the dog star, and that could explain some of the dog-wolf-canine associations that they both share. One of the key symbols in Hekate symbolism is the torch. We see the torch everywhere we see Hekate. Sirius was known as Loki's torch in the Norse tradition. And even the rune Kenaz, which is associated with Loki, means torch or fire. In one of the scenes where Loki and Odin are arguing, Loki's like, yeah, well, remember the time we turned into women and lived as witches on an island? Both Hekate and Loki are very liminal figures. What does that mean, liminal? It means in between spaces. Hekate is the spirit that presides over manifestation, moving from the abstract into the concrete, going from one phase of life into another. Loki, too, is very liminal. He's half giant, he's half Aesir, he's half friend, he's half foe. And finally, they're both associated with dandelions, and if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. Dandelions are so hard to get rid of because their roots go deep into the ground, deep into the underworld. That makes them kind of stubborn and tricky. But more than that, like Hekate, it's a triple aspect thing. The roots go down in the underworld, the flower is part of earth, and then when it turns into that like wispy, blowy thing, it becomes part of the air, part of the heavens. So it's heaven, earth, and the underworld all in one symbol. It's actually really cool. Little heavenly puffball. If we trust our symbolic intuition and our felt experience of the things that these symbols are pointing to, then we can get a sense. When Loki shows up in your life, and guys, we're not being literal, but when the energy or the pattern or the psychological impulses that Loki represents show up in your life, things change. Hekate is a liminal goddess, goddess of thresholds, goddess of crossroads, goddess of change and transformation. Makes sense.